Yeah, I mean, so much chaos last week. That Alabama upset wasn't the only one, far from it, indeed. And you see Alabama as an 11.5 point favorite in the Iron Bowl. And fresh in people's minds is the chaos the last few weeks, also the chaos in this rivalry, particularly last year's 27-24 win for Alabama with that fourth down miracle play, that deep pass by Jalen Milroe. The game appeared to be lost, and they pulled one out of the fire there. And there's a lot of those games that come to mind when you think of this rivalry. However, all those games were at Jordan Hare, and you heard Nick Saban say on game day the other day that place is haunted, and it has been haunted for Alabama. Auburn's 4-0 against the spread in their last four home games in this series, but Alabama is 5-0 straight up in their last five home games in this series, and all five of those wins were double-digit wins. Now, we just saw Alabama play their worst game of the season. We're seeing Auburn coming off that thrilling win. Something interesting caught my eye about that win over Texas A&M. I've been listening to some Texas A&M fans complain. They claim there was at least two significant missed holding calls in that overtime game. And they've got a statistic that they're touting out there, that awful eyebrow-raising statistic. Texas A&M hasn't had an opposing offense called for holding since mid-September when they played Bowling Green. And given that offensive holding is such a subjective play, and you could probably call it on every play, and for it not to happen in something like 7 or 8 straight games, that is unbelievable. No wonder they're losing their heads over there in College Station. So just taking a little bit of the glory away from Auburn's win last week, let's get back focused on this game. So Nick Saban, as the coach of Alabama, he didn't let freshmen talk to the media, and there's a good reason for that. Auburn, obviously, Hugh Freeze doesn't have the same policy. They've got a freshman linebacker talking to the media this week, trash talking Jalen Milroe, dropping a bunch of pretty hardcore quotes, just locker room material for Alabama. And, a lot of people after Alabama lost last week said, oh, that's it. Their playoff hopes are over. Well, they're ranked 13th, so they got a few teams in front of them are going to have to lose. But give your head a shake if you think their playoff chances are over, because the playoff committee will do whatever it takes to get Alabama in there if it's possible. And I'm looking at a few teams in front of them. Miami this week, Clemson this week. Those teams appear to be ripe for the picking, to be honest with you. I think Alabama wins this game by double digits. I'll lay the 11.5. I think it's a letdown spot for Auburn after quadruple overtime or whatever it was last week. And yeah, Alabama's inconsistent. They're a flawed team. It's been a rough go for Kalen DeBoer, but at the end of the day, they got more talent. They're at home. They need to bounce back, and they still can make the playoffs. And I believe they probably still will.